This episode of The Riff with UCLA Shenanigans is brought to you by Circuit City. We have a bit of a backlog. And intro.
Welcome to the Rift podcast hosted by Riff and Noah Stern. We are joined in the studio with the amazing, the illustrious, the very talented stand-up trio. We got Michael Pyle, Clark Miner, and Carl Hatch.
Thank you very much.
Guys, how are you doing? It's a beautiful Thursday night here in Los Angeles.
I actually don't think it's beautiful. I object to how the weather is. It's pretty dry, and it can't decide on if it's cold or warm.
Dry.
So.
It's like the ghost of Furcon is inhabiting his body.
Yeah. Who's still dead outside the studio.
Poor Furcon.
Yeah.
Should we move that at some point?
Nah,
Just give it a little kick.
He'll decompose eventually.
So gentlemen, how about we give each of you an introduction? Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me. Now, let's start with Michael, sitting directly across from me here in the studio. How did you get involved with UCLA Shenanigans?
So I went to, as a little freshman, first week at school, I went to the ginormous activities fair and put my email down for a lot of things. And Shenanigans was the only one I followed up with.
Nice. And now I understand you're in radio?
Yeah, I'm in radio too. I got my application in, accepted somehow, and now I'm an intern for the comedy department this quarter.
Very nice. Very cool. What about you, Clark?
I got my roots in comedy by attending a show in Ackerman Union, actually, where I saw Carl perform, and I thought I can do way better than that guy. And
here you are, proving yourself right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, were you correct?
I would say I was correct.
He's been chasing his coattails ever since.
Well, let's give the man a chance to speak. Carl.
Oh, nope, they punched him in the face.
Hello.
How'd you get started with Shenanigans here at UCLA?
Carl is a man of few words.
Yes.
He's a regular Ferb of Phineas and Ferb.
I got my start with Shenanigans my second year at UCLA, and I took a quarter off the first quarter of sophomore year, and I did an open mic, and yeah, I joined my second year because I thought I could get girls with comedy, but it's not really working.
No. Yeah, not here at UCLA.
Not for you.
What attracts girls, if not comedy?
I don't know, apparently looks or something? Who knows?
What?
I don't know.
I'm going to be alone forever.
Yeah. All right, so you guys all are primarily stand-ups.
Three little Shana Punhams.
Mm-hmm. Doing your stand-up.
Yeah. They do sketch a little bit too, but I'm only a stand-up because that's all I have time for.
Gotcha. And you say they do sketch a little bit, but I don't think Carl or Michael have actually written anything. Michael definitely shows up to sketch, which is half the battle. I'll give him that.
And speaking of half the battle, he leaves halfway through the meetings.
Consistently.
So he's doing literally half the battle.
See, I'm just consolidating my assets, you know? I don't pretend that I'm in sketch.
No, definitely not. What about you, Carl?
Well, I also write for The Enabler, so...
Have they published anything of yours yet?
I have two...
I didn't mean that in a jerk way. I'm
I
just
have
asking.
two things that are on the like they're in the copy edited pile, so they're almost gonna be published.
Almost published.
I did revisions of two of my articles, and I'm waiting for them to read them.
Sweet.
So is this the riff?
It is the rift. The riff. No. I mean, it is.
If we fight and break up, we can call it the rift.
When Rafe and I eventually get into our who's more famous discussion, and then one of us kicks one of us off.
The answer is none of the above.
Yeah, then it's the riff. But until then, it's just the riff.
With
UCLA Shenanigans.
Let's practice that again. Let's say it together. 1, 2, 3.
Right now, you want to do it?
Damn it! 1, 2, 3.
With
the
UCLA Shenanigans, we are...
Say the whole thing!
The riff.
The Riff with UCLA Shenanigans, hosted by Rafe and Noah Stern. There you go. It flows. Something like that.
We didn't say it at the same time.
Ideally, we're gonna pass off hosting duties next year when we graduate. Maybe you three could be in there. Well,
Carl,
ideally
what
just
about
you
you?
two.
Probably not.
Carl, never mind.
Disappointing us already. Michael, do you have any aspirations
You're
to
off to
go
the
far in
races.
comedy? At
No.
UCLA? No, no to both.
Yes.
Okay,
No.
so all three of you, I wanted to ask, you're doing stand-up, okay? I've seen all three of you perform. You're going to be performing tomorrow night, Bruin Reception Room, Laugh Den. No, not Laugh Den.
This isn't gonna be up
Bruin
then.
Fest. It doesn't matter. We have live listeners, all of them.
If you're listening to this in the future, try to go to Bruin Fest in the past.
Yeah. You guys all have sets tomorrow. I'm very excited to see this.
That's actually not true. Clark does not have a set for tomorrow.
Clark doesn't have a set tomorrow?
But if I run into him tomorrow and ask for a set, could he like do some impromptu?
Dude, I don't have a set yet because I'm just that good.
All right.
That's the opposite
You
of
know
how
what happened?
comedy works.
You know what happened? I
You didn't
wasn't
suck
even,
up to Salma enough?
I wasn't even in the regular, or I wasn't even in the original lineup, right?
And apparently you're not in the final lineup either.
Wow, that's a pretty simple story.
And you know
Yep.
what? Someone dropped, and they brought the ringer in.
Clark's the ringer.
Yeah,
Clark's
bro.
the contact in case of emergency.
So you know what? They know that I deliver, and that's all that matters.
Listeners, he patted his bicep and a little whoopee cushion noise came out.
Yeah, it was very, very twig-like.
Who are all the stand-ups performing? How many are there? Give me a number. Roman numeral.
X.
And that is...
10.
Actually, a
10 what?
variable because we don't know yet.
Oh.
what?
So question.
Didn't I could have sworn I saw a set list.
There's definitely a set list.
That Clark's looking for poorly. So bad.
Okay, here it is. Wait, no, that was Tuesday's
Oh
show.
my god, dude.
Regardless, you guys are all performing, and this is what I really wanted to ask you: is you're all what sophomores, third years?
Third year.
Third year.
I'm a sophomore.
Right. So this is going to be just directed to our mature audiences.
Okay.
What do you guys have any aspirations outside of comedy, outside of UCLA?
Yeah, I definitely do. I want to write for a TV show one day, and I just want to keep continuing doing stand-up. Like, I don't like. I know it's like a pipe dream, but comedy is what I like to do.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
No, that not a pipe dream for us. I mean, hell, you're in a booth with 5 comics.
You use the term loosely, but
yeah.
Carl, would you ever want to like make your own show?
Like podcast or TV show?
A TV show, write your own TV show.
Yeah, I've tried writing a pilot. It's not very funny, but like, yeah, I do definitely want to write a TV show one day.
Are you taking any screenwriting classes here at UCLA?
No, I just show up to sketch like once a quarter, and I think that's about enough.
Fair enough. You know, there are actually a lot of classes that you can take that are like entry level to expert that
So he
I
is as
highly
qualified
recommend.
as we are.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Clark,
And-
what about you?
I have a question for Carl. Are you specifically making your voice deeper for this podcast?
No.
He just did it again. He's imitating the God Man.
I also have the set list. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So
X was right.
X was right.
Who would you say is the funniest on that list?
Probably the headliner.
Oh, besides the headliner, or
Just name whoever you want. You can name multiple people.
Well, who
name
currently
everyone but
holds-
Carl and see if he picks up on that.
Who currently holds the belt?
Salma Zaki, I would say, is the funniest. She currently
Hell yeah.
holds the belt.
Salma Zachary.
Yeah,
not-
Salma crushes.
Yeah, she's so funny. I started a tradition because she did so well at the last show, and I don't think anyone endorses the tradition yet. But
What is
Is
it?
it belt
It's
related?
gotta happen at least once more to be considered a tradition.
all right, well, what I hope to become a
Otherwise-
tradition is I bought like a plastic WWE belt online, and like whoever performs the best at a show gets the belt for like however long until the next show.
How do you determine who performs the best?
Whoever holds the belt chooses.
Hmm.
They have to hand it off to someone not themselves.
Wow.
So, are any of you ready to?
So there's no returning champions? I
Are-
mean, it seems like you kind of poorly thought this out.
Are any of you ready to reach for that belt?
Oh, I'm going for the belt.
It's a tradition.
In the loosest definition.
Okay, so it's an occasion.
Okay, so Michael, how about you? Are you going to be pursuing comedy outside of UCLA?
No.
Okay.
Are you having a disappoint me competition? Because you're
Yeah.
all in the lead.
You know what? I'm just gonna try to live honestly, be myself, and I feel like
What a terrible idea.
people are gonna laugh at that.
At you not having aspirations to pursue your current biggest hobby?
Yes.
Let's
Fair
say
enough.
your dream woman were standing in front of you right now, or dream
Or,
man.
or man.
Or man.
Or non-gender conforming.
True. And they said, I love comedy. What would you say? But they say, I love someone who pursues comedy and has aspirations. How do you convince them that you both enjoy a good chuckle or two, but also that you have aspirations?
Damn.
Anytime.
Today, preferably.
I did stand up in college.
Wow.
Do you have aspirations?
Wow.
This dream person says.
You have the personality of a cardboard box.
Okay,
Thank
pretend it's like Emma Stone.
Uh-huh.
Okay, pretend it's Emma Stone. And Emma Stone is like, what aspirations do you have? I was in Spider-Man. What did you do with your life?
Wow.
I think he just got raptured or something.
Also, I think Michael's not so much into the Emma Stone type, more of an Emma Stoned type.
Ha! Got him.
Clark is not getting the belt
Nice.
tomorrow. That is what we have figured out
Light
here.
the belt on fire.
No,
Put it
so
at the top of a ladder.
Evidently,
Was that your response?
No.
Good job.
fair enough. Evidently, you all have high hopes for yourselves in your comedy careers. So, what inspired you to get started? Did you have any comedy influences? Any?
Well, we didn't ask Clark.
Oh yeah, Clark. How'd you get started in comedy?
No.
Oh yeah,
do I
the other question. What aspirations do you have
Who's
outside of
hosting here?
UCLA?
Who's hosting here? My comedic aspirations outside of UCLA. I don't know. Let's see where UCLA takes me, and if I'm like touring by the end of my time at UCLA, I'll stick with it.
So you're
So
saying
he's doing nothing.
yeah,
after-
you're saying if in the next 2 years, your third year?
Yeah.
You're saying if in the next 1.5 years you get to the point where you are booked, you have a manager, you have an agent, you are touring America doing comedy,
Yeah.
then you'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, you're aware of Salma and Katie's commitment to comedy and where they are right now.
Yeah. I'll
They will fucking kill you.
no. I'll just ride on their coattails.
Okay.
What
just-
coattails? They don't have jackets.
I honestly hope all of your mothers and fathers are listening to this so they could really just relate to my
How
disappointment.
many mothers
So-
and fathers would you estimate that is, Noah?
I think they have at tops 5 between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Yeah.
have 3 myself.
I have
Clark's Mormon. Does that change your estimate?
That
Also, some-
really does actually. Very much. You're Mormon?
Yeah.
What's that been like? Yeah, please tell me you got some material out of that.
What
man.
kind of question
He
is
has
that?
made 0 Mormon jokes since his
Dude,
entry.
you
into
have
comedy.
the past. You gotta do it.
You have the
Dude,
past?
it's
The past, the
something that
past.
I haven't found a way to discuss it on stage yet.
On to the next
Put
question.
the comments on the screen.
Oh yeah, I'm not 100%
Click the little
on how to
chat
do it.
button.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, left click.
We'll figure it out.
Just, do you know there's 2 clicks on a mouse? One of them is left click.
One of them is left click.
That's the one on.
Um,
the left.
What's the other one?
All right, you just downloaded a virus.
Yeah. Looks
What
like
the
we
heck?
got all sorts of things up here.
There's something in there called the no-no list.
Oh, yeah,
we gotta
that's-
talk about that.
That's the list of artists that we can't play because they're we
Too
don't like- they're-
expensive.
No, they have stuff going on.
Oh, so like the Wiggles?
Yeah, like the Wiggles, exactly.
What's your favorite Wiggles song while I have you here? Any one of you.
I don't think they
Name a
that's
song.
not right.
Name a
Hot
song
potato,
from any
hot
band.
Potato.
Great.
That's a pretty good
Yeah,
one.
it's a good one.
Okay. So I wanna get more in depth on the topic for today.
So today's topic is lunches.
Lunch.
Specifically, I was thinking of starting with, you know how when you were in elementary school, you used to maybe get a little bag lunch or maybe a little school lunch?
So did you guys growing up? So like, I imagine. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Michael and Clark, I imagine you went to a normal school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carl, did you? I don't know. You seem like the homeschool type.
I actually went to Filipino school. Thank you for.
No shit.
No, I'm playing. No, I went to normal school.
Nice. So, did you guys have like a lunchroom? Was it communal? Were there any dietary restrictions?
We sat outside at like picnic benches, and you couldn't have peanut butter or fun.
Wow. The
Dude,
two greatest things in life.
How
yeah,
much
a
you
fun
want to?
allergy?
How much you want to bet Michael was one of the non-peanut kids?
What
Or
do you mean, dude?
no, not even that. He didn't even have a peanut allergy. He just sat in solidarity with him.
I think there were no other peanut allergic students, but Michael still wanted that zone for himself, and it was like, any day now, someone's
I
gonna
just
come
didn't
over,
like the
and I'll be a
smell.
hero.
I
You
don't
don't
know.
like the smell of peanut butter?
I don't know if this was a good
It's very
topic because if you look at Michael, you will clearly see that he does not eat.
No,
At
yeah.
all.
Michael turned the other way, and I was just right through him.
From the angle I'm sitting at, he's completely covered by this thin bar in the window.
Yeah, it's a very thin bar, and even thinner Michael.
Straight up
So
on him.
so did you guys have any fun things growing up? Like I know like Gushers were the fucking
Did you
and
have
like
a
Welch's
lunchbox?
fruit snacks
I-
were
do-
highly.
Do you guys
highly
remember
coveted.
like stackers or stickers or the thing, the little circles?
Pogs?
No, they were little
Oh,
circle
Shrinky
gummies.
Dinks.
They were called stackers.
Take apart
Okay.
erasers?
Circular gummy candy.
Oreos.
Circles.
You might as well be speaking
Gummy
different
bears?
languages.
Gummy candy
I don't know what you're talking
that
about.
were
think-
flat circles.
I think I know what you're talking about, but that
Stackers.
sounds like so white.
It sounds like a toy.
We would lick them and put them on our foreheads.
Okay.
I just dropped something out of shock.
Yeah. So you would do that,
Oh no, my
Like the
precious
commercials.
vase collection.
and Clark, what about you?
Fun stuff. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening, but I don't know if I got a lot of fun stuff.
What do you remember trading
Fruit-
for as a kid?
fruit-
What's an
I
interesting
had-
story?
I had fruit leathers.
Did you guys do lunch trading? I never traded because I had to eat
I
specific
think
food.
I think I was bad at the trading game.
I stole.
You stole
Michael
food?
just suddenly put on a leather jacket and started chewing
Now-
a toothpick
now-
and flipping a nickel.
Believe it or
Actually-
not, I could probably guess where Michael went to middle school. He is from the Bay Area.
Can you guess Michael's birthday?
Oh, easy. It's January 30th.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
No,
No, I don't know. You just kind of looked like a beginning of the year kind of guy.
I am. Yeah, February 13th.
Oh, dude, I was fucking
That's
close.
14 days off.
Now, let me ask you this. Were you a sandwich guy?
Yes.
Crust on or off growing up?
What the fuck? Crust on, okay?
Crust on. Okay, and now as an adult, are you still crust on?
Yeah, I don't have time to take the crust off.
Fair enough. And you're losing so much surface area of good bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys ever eat hot lunch at your schools, like what the school was serving?
Yeah.
I remember once getting some of my school's spaghetti, and I took one bite of it, and it gave me depression, and I threw it in the trash. And then they were like, Rafe, why aren't you eating? And I'm like, because your food is garbage, and I hate you. Anyways, I was not well liked at that school for some reason.
No.
I do.
You weren't there.
No, but I could have guessed.
Ugh.
I have a question for the panel.
Yeah.
I do remember using my lunch food as weapons a lot.
Such as?
Like throwing goldfish at people, and like one time I hit the vice principal with a goldfish.
And how'd that turn out?
She was like in a group of kids, and then she started searching everyone's backpacks. So I had to hide the paraphernalia.
Nice. You're probably pretty sneaky with that.
Yeah, I was probably one of the scarier moments of my life.
I see.
As a 7th grade kid.
Would you say goldfish are the snack that smiles back in that instance? Did luck shine on you today? I mean, that
Actually,
day.
yeah, I was so lucky. I just didn't get caught. But
Very
it might
nice.
run in the family because one time my dad threw an apple core at his vice principal and didn't get caught for that.
What did your
Very
grandfather
nice.
Sounds like your
throw?
dad's cooler than
Gary,
you.
man.
Gary.
What did your grandfather throw?
Uh,
An entire apple
Probably
tree.
like a nade at a Nazi or something like that.
An
or
apple
like
cart.
whatever they had during the Great Depression. I don't.
dust.
Some bread crust that Carl didn't want.
Something like that. So,
Did any of you ever have like cool lunch boxes
I was
that
just
were
about
pretty
to
cool
ask.
and sweet?
I remember growing up, I had a Spider-Man lunchbox that it was embossed so that the web part was like raised a little bit.
No,
It's pretty
way.
fucking dope.
Did the web have individual pockets?
No, but it was like very sticky, so it
Nice.
was easy.
Was that Spider-Man played by Tom Holland?
When I was 3 years old?
And he was a fetus? Yes.
How old is Tom Holland?
I think our age, actually.
Oh shit.
If you're older than him, though,
See,
he would have been a fetus.
If Emma Stone asked Tom Holland what he did when he was 21, he would have stuff to say. If they asked Clark, he'd be like, I went on Roofsplinger. And like,
Dude,
nothing
okay,
else.
My aspirations aren't comedic, but I still have aspirations.
I remember having like a Winnie the Pooh box lunchbox, and it had a little thing in the corner that was like a little description of Winnie the Pooh or something. And I was like, yes, this is my jam. I did not eat jam, though.
Honey.
I wouldn't. I just got the most like just nothing. A black little lunchbox. I didn't want any characters. or
nothing.
Design,
What was it? Was black metal or was it just like
it was-
like padded?
It was that like rubber insulated.
Oh,
Mm.
I also
so you were such a nerd.
I also had a pocket.
Did your mom throw in a lot of ice packs in there?
Yeah, dude. I was
Fucking knew it. You're an
Dude,
ice pack kid. I
was
knew
an
it.
ice pack kid.
Dude, you had a thermos too, huh? You brought soup in a thermos.
Hot things hot and cold things cold. You can't blame them.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
I was
glad
a
that we
thermos kid.
took time to explain to the listeners what,
What
a
a thermos is.
is.
Hey,
Yes.
it's a dying breed. You know, millennials these days just don't keep hot things hot or cold things cold.
I have
Thank you, the New
They,
Yorker.
they eat everything lukewarm.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever like lose your lunch boxes? Because I like lost a lot of lunch boxes.
All
I was
the
very
fucking time.
responsible. I feel like I never lost it. Or if I did, it was once or twice. And that was one of the few things I can pride myself on. My brother, I think, lost his lunchbox all the time, so there's a constant stream of him getting lunchboxes and losing them. And when we went to the same high school for a few overlapping years, I'd be like, hey, I found your lunchbox in a classroom you didn't even go to. And he's like, oh, yeah.
My high school had Noah.
It did have me in it. Yeah, we did actually go to the same high school. But our lunches, I felt the on-campus lunch, shit. And the off-campus lunch, there were some pretty good options. Some good pizza joints, some good sandwich like burrito, close by, of course.
Grocery
The Safeway,
store.
yeah, you couldn't go wrong with the Safeway.
Okay, you guys got to leave school during lunch?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I
We
did.
went to a normal non-Mormon school.
We went wherever.
Dude, I went to a normal Temecula school, but they just restricted our ability to leave campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually were only allowed to dance in certain ways.
Oh, leave room for Joseph Smith.
And Brigham Young.
And Brigham Young, of course. Carl, did you? What kind of campus did you have in high school? Was it conducive to going off and getting your own food?
No, there's a iron gate around it. It's a very urban campus.
Really? Where'd you grow up?
Long Beach, California.
Long Beach.
Strong Beach, California.
There you go. All right, so you're a local LAite.
No,
No,
I'm from Long Beach.
I'm from the Bay Area. I don't know where the fuck Long Beach is compared to everything else.
You're stupid.
Carl, what was your go-to spot?
There's this one like pho restaurant that's pretty good. There's also Filipino food. Did I
Hell yeah.
mention?
Dude,
Huh?
dude, I've been deep in the Filipino community. Hell yeah. I'm going to Samahog Modern's dance recital after this, for
No
fuck's
way.
sake. Yeah.
That is not what I thought you meant.
No. Hey, my girlfriend is a lovely lady, okay?
We are balls deep in November, guys.
I'm just saying. Great community on campus, and I'm sure in Long Beach.
Going back to the topic of lunch, I want to ask you guys. So, I wasn't very rich growing up, and I didn't get to use Ziploc baggies. Instead,
Okay.
I had the fold-over
Oh, yeah.
sandwich bags.
Oh yeah, sold many a weed in those bags.
And those suck. I want to get your guys' opinions.
No, well they don't lock. It's just like they're good for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches,
Yeah.
but then like chips, forget about it. Carrots, they're gonna slip out.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how Ziploc bags like sealed shut.
You weren't sure. You couldn't look at it and go, huh, these two sides fit together. And when they fit together, it creates a seal.
I feel like I had the academic intellectual knowledge. It was just putting it into practice
I see.
to keep my food in the bag.
So it's like you're saying like you're smart enough to get into UCLA, but not smart enough to have any dreams or aspirations?
To graduate, yeah.
I see. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Dude, I used to fuck with the bag of grapes was always good.
Yeah.
Especially, again, with the ice pack, keeping it cool, right?
The bag of grapes, that was, going back to Clark's saying, that was the weapon right there.
Oh, yeah, to chuck across the room?
Yeah.
Totally.
That was the hucker.
I don't think people use that word.
Oh,
ever.
did you guys like do the pistachio shell thing?
Where you can fold them and flick them?
No, when you rub it on the ground and it gets really hot.
Rub it on the
burn it.
ground.
What?
Put it
What
under
is
your
this?
shoe. Rub it against the ground. It gets really hot. I have a scar from when my friend.
You have a pistachio
I have
scar?
a pistachio shell scar.
That's wild, dude. That's fucking badass. That's what you tell Emma Stone.
From school or your mom?
My mom always put pistachio shells in my lunch.
Just the shells.
And then came to
Instead of
school.
putting out cigarettes on his arm, she put out pistachio shells.
It was a lot more intentional.
Okay, cool. Very nice.
I've got wacky questions like we had back in the day.
Boom. I want to hear some wacky-ass questions.
Michael, what cereal mascot?
No. So exactly like we had back
No,
in the
I
day.
have other ones. How about, what would you say is the most pathetic way to die? Other than autoerotic asphyxiation, because I feel
Hey,
like that
don't
would be
kink
No,
the
shame.
first
dude,
one.
that's not pathetic. That's hardcore.
Yeah, that's like knowing like you died how you lived, jerking yourself off while choking yourself. That's how I want to go. I'm gonna be real.
I've learned a lot about Noah today. He's balls deep in a lot of things.
balls deep in November, balls deep in apparently funny ways to die.
Your hand.
Filipino culture.
Oh, dude, you can't go wrong with the Filipino culture.
I think the most pathetic way to die is old age.
Yeah, especially because you don't actually die of old age, you die of organ failure, and then the mortician is like, "Do you want to do an autopsy?" And your family's like, "No, they're just old, and we'll accept that."
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Noah, what would you say is the most pathetic way to die?
That's definitely going to be taking a handful of mercury-filled thermometers, putting a rubber band over it, lubing it up with a jar of pig lard, shoving it up your ass, and then clenching so that it
You see my face.
breaks. So that it breaks, and then the shards of glass plus mercury enters your bloodstream, and you slowly but painfully die.
Is this from the same 4chan thread where Furcon figured out how to kill a man with yogurt?
Yes. That's why he's dead out there with thermometers shoved up his ass.
For all of our listeners who remember continuity,
Furcon is still
just
dead
me
outside.
and
dude.
Furcon.
Yeah.
No one else has listened to every episode.
Not even me.
That is, you made that very clear.
I listen to most of them. Just the ones I'm not on.
Anyways, Carl, same question to you. What would you say is the most pathetic way to die?
Sudden infant death syndrome.
SIDS. SIDS
Yeah,
is definitely
SIDS.
what a way to go.
Yeah, it's like.
Are you
Fucking
worried that's going to
idiots.
happen to you? Because I'm pretty sure sudden infant death syndrome stops at a certain point.
At that point, it's just infant death syndrome.
At that point, it's just a Carl death syndrome, I guess.
It's just death syndrome.
It's just pretty
Remember
pathetic.
Syndrome from The Incredibles?
I never saw them. Oh, yeah, I do. Of course. Wait, yeah.
He was the one who was like, "I'm Syndrome, your nemesis."
And then it was like a cutaway gag, and then he immediately dies.
He was the main villain.
He was the main villain.
Syndrome?
Syndrome, the guy with the orange hair.
Oh, him. I was thinking of...
Bomb Voyage.
Yes. Of course.
You guys are so in sync.
No, wait, Bon Voyage is the line when he says when he drops the bomb over the waterfall.
No.
No?
No, there was at the beginning when Syndrome is a young boy and Mr. Incredible hasn't aged at all. He's like, "I'm too busy fighting Bomb Voyage," who is like a mime carrying bombs with a beret, and he's like,
Oh.
"Oui, I am Bomb Voyage."
Oh, of course. That does actually remind me.
No,
I've
whatever you're
always
saying you're
wondered-
thinking of, I know
I've-
you're thinking of the wrong thing
You
again.
know I was thinking of how big Mr. Incredible's dick is?
It's the wrong thing.
His name is Mr. Incredible. It's got to be a schlonger. You know it is.
All I want in this world is 1 week where we don't talk about somebody's penis.
Okay.
It's such a long shot goal, I know.
Next week it'll be that week.
Third person in the booth. The question is, what is the most pathetic way to die? And then justify why it's the most pathetic. No one else has justified it.
Anything in a Prius.
Okay, justify it.
You can't have strong emotions in a Prius. Like, you can't speed through a stoplight in a Prius and look like a badass.
You can't have a Matthew McConaughey style inner monologue in a Prius.
No. The kind of death in a Prius is like, maybe choking on air, or like someone's.
Excuse me?
Like someone's elbow hits you.
Do you know what air is?
Do you know how not chokeable it is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in a Prius, all of that's possible because it's so pathetic to die in a Prius.
Oh, fair enough.
It's like someone's elbow could hit you in the wrong spot and you could die.
I'm sorry, Michael. Are you bouncing quarters over there? What is this clicking I hear? Are you rubbing your keys on the desk? So okay, I did want to talk about this. We just had the midterm elections, and it was a wild rush. And this is a totally natural segue into no one doing a bit specifically for this. But I was wondering, like, there's just so many people on campus who were voting. It touched my heart to see everyone participating in their electoral rights.
Oh, that's so funny that you would bring that up. So random. I didn't vote.
You didn't vote?
No.
Tell me about that.
I like to use the term.
Okay, wait, hold on, Michael. Now you are literally fondling coins. What the fuck? I can hear all of this.
You're cutting off the punchline. We prepared so long for this.
You're part of the punchline is you fondling coins into a microphone. Just thank you. All right. So
he's crying.
Man, this election season's been crazy. So many people on campus. Did anyone have something to say?
I don't like the term "didn't vote." Actually, I prefer the term "political abstinence."
Oh my god!
I'm sorry. Did you ask me beforehand to bring up voting for that? That was the bit you wanted to do.
You're not waiting. Okay, you know what?
No, let's run it from the top. And I swear to God, if I hear another fucking quarter drop, Michael fucking Pyle, what is going on here?
There are only so many microphones I can use to shove up one of your asses. So I need you to decide who gets the microphone.
What's the rest of your joke?
Okay.
Oh, there's more! There's more to this! Genius!
Wow. I can't wait for your 45 just on this.
Here's the thing. I don't really even have strong feelings about sports teams. Like, I always choose based on which colors I like more, and red and blue are pretty equal for me, so.
What? This is the bit? This is why you're not performing. You asshole! I've seen you do material that's good. What is this?
Really?
Yeah.
Don't you dare compliment him!
Okay. Is that...
I don't prefer politicized pronouns.
This has been the longest hour of my life.
So, okay, for the listeners at home, if you come to our Friday night show tomorrow night, you will not see Clark perform. Clark, are you performing? You are the flex?
I'm performing, yeah.
I don't know if you can call it performing, but he will be up on the stage for 3 minutes, so call it what you will.
Gotcha. You got your loose 3 going, and then...
I would say it's a tight 2.5.
Should we give him a
okay,
preview?
or a loose 3. Okay, you got a tight 2.5. Carl, Michael, do you guys, when you think of like your bits, your sketches, how many times do you try to rotate through material when you go on stage?
I like to do a different set every time I perform in the same place.
Makes sense. That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Michael?
Yeah, I like to do new material as often as I can, but I think there's something to be said for having a portfolio of jokes to pull from.
Of course.
All right, I found the comments. We've got, dang, when will sports teams of all colors get the priesthood?
Damn. Sounds like this person in chat.
Oh, also,
is
please
all over
tell
the
me
place.
someone is counting the amount of voice cracks. We should keep a tally of that.
We are. Michael's at 37. Rafe's at 2. I'm at 6. Carl's at 0 somehow, and Clark's just infinite. So you're at home. You're making something for yourself. What is it? Is it a sandwich? Are you making yourself popcorn as a snack? What's your go-to 12:45 p.m. food?
Stealing my roommate's bread. That's what I like to do.
Nice.
Yeah, he actually got mad at me. He bakes bread, and he got mad at me because I was like eating too much of it.
Clark, what about you? What's your go-to lunch food?
Go-to lunch food, nachos.
Nachos. Interesting. Is this microwave or toaster oven?
Oven.
Oven. Real oven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it on a pan. Put some cheese in there. Some
Cheese. Wow.
Very adventurous of you.
Ground turkey, black beans. Call it a meal.
Very nice. And Michael, what about you?
I'm still on the hill, so I go to any one of 7 locations for various cuisine.
I've wanted to ask you about that. Why still on the hill? What's up with that?
Because I'm a second year. I'm a youngin'.
Right.
What's more interesting is Michael's hill living situation. Ask him what kind of room he has.
Hey, Michael, what kind of room do you have?
Wait, I'll ask it. Hey, Michael, what kind of room do you have?
What was the question again? I have a single.
Well, that's nice.
And how do you have that? Are you an RA?
Well, it just matches his
No,
relationship status.
Just
Okay.
Hey.
I'm sorry, that was an unnecessary
Hey, we're all
dig.
friends here.
Go on. You have an RA?
No. What?
You don't have an RA.
I'm not an RA.
So why do
You
I'm
have an
single.
RA?
I have a social disorder.
Is it something to do with stabbings in the night? Are you a bedwetter? What's
How are
going
you
on?
going to feel if he answers with a real answer?
I'm a bedwetter, but that's not really a social thing.
I see. Well, I mean,
I
not
keep-
at the parties you go to.
This is why I don't attend your parties, Noah, because it's just people pissing their pants and then being like, hey, get
Pants?
it? That was the bit.
No, get it right. No one pisses their pants. It's just a waste of good piss.
Everyone brings sleeping bags.
Yeah.
Piss into that.
You know the show Hot Ones?
No.
At my house, we do Wet Ones. It's where you all piss in a sleeping bag, turn off the lights, and crawl on the floor on top of each
I
other.
feel like you didn't even need to bring up hot ones for that.
No, it's imperative to the story. Believe
Okay,
me.
you know the show Dragon Tales?
Oh,
So I
yeah.
was thinking of telling tales as in stories.
Okay, as dragons.
No. Unrelated. See how well I did that? Like you did it?
Fair enough. Could we at least eat hot wings while we tell the stories?
I was thinking,
Rafe, I noticed that you have an Iron Man watch. Have you ever done an Iron Man yourself?
what do you mean?
You might have to explain what an Iron Man challenge is.
So in the Iron Man, it is a combination of a run, swim, and a bike.
Oh, of course I've done those. Not all sequentially, of course, or even on the same day.
So no, not.
So the
done an
answer
Iron
is
Man.
yes. Why is it called the Iron Man Challenge? Shouldn't there be copyright issues or trademark issues? It'd be a trademark.
I think it's like Iron Man. No, it's just like a.
It's one word, and the M is
Well-
orange.
One is Iron Man and one is the Iron Man.
There's a little thing that
Ah.
says 30 lap,
Well, there you have it.
which I guess is how many laps I've already taken today.
I was curious about when the last time you guys laughed the hardest. Surely there was a time that just broke you in terms
Sober.
of laughing.
When did
Yeah, sure, yeah, sober
when
or
wa-
or
when wa-
not.
When
it's
was
up to you.
Clark's last comedy set?
At least a week ago, probably.
Okay, so definitely before that.
Nice roast, grade A roast.
I'm sorry. In actuality, I don't know. I'm a great guest, aren't I?
Yeah, you definitely hit your 50-word quota for the day. You can go take a nap now or whatever you do. Clark, what about you? When was the last time you laughed the hardest?
Something about like how deers can't see forwards. We were just like
Okay.
they don't have to look straight. Like they're literally just prey animals. Like all they do is eat grass and be scared of other things that can attack them.
So, yeah, I never thought about that.
It's a pretty funny situation to be in.
Michael, what about you? When was the last time you laughed the hardest?
My dog ate an entire pizza
Really?
very slowly while I was watching.
That happened to my dog
How-
once, but she almost died.
You let your dog eat an entire pizza and you're like, oh, this has
Well,
to
I
go
didn't-
on for at least 4 more minutes.
I a Herculean effort to stop this dog from eating this pizza.
Right, but the dog, I would imagine, is at least 50 pounds, which is more than you weigh. So I'm sure it was very difficult to get the dog's jaws off the pizza.
He's also a little bit like away from me.
I see. And you couldn't reach out with your lanky, spindly arms and get him?
For the listeners,
No.
Michael has Slender Man-like arms.
Very slender, not very manly.
They're 50% of my body weight.
I mean, if I were to come up with a joke off the top of my head, I'd say he's basically just tendons.
Tendons and cartilage. It's like somehow he's closely related to a shark.
You nailed that one.
Nailed it. And hey, there's another one for the voice crack counter.
You know what? I'm glad.
Okay, that has been our show for the evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do you guys have anything to plug? You got an Instagram, a Twitter that people can find your comedy at?
Underscore busboy94
Nice.
is my Insta.
Clarkminer.party, my personal website.
Is that for real? Do you have a personal website, clarkminer.party?
Yeah.
I fucking love that. I'm
Yeah.
going to go there after this, and, who knows what'll happen.
Do it.
Michael, what about you?
Listen to Moses's radio show Mondays at 9 p.m.
Fair enough. I like that. And as always, everybody, we got an amazing show tomorrow night, 8 p.m.
Won't be
Bruin Reception Room. There are people listening. We have a chat, Rafe. We established that
They
we
wrote
have
in the
people.
chat, stop reading the chat.
That was me to prove a point. You can follow me on Instagram at @NoahStern_. Follow me on Twitter at Noah but no arc. Follow me on Snapchat, be gentle, and have a great weekend. We'll see you next time, same time, Thursday night, 9 to 10 p.m. We'll have a new guest talking sketch writing, talking their comedy
guests.
influence. 2 new guests. We got Jessica Block and Kelly, no last
Clarkson.
name, Kelly Clarkson.
Holman.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We got a great round of music playing.
Holman.
Kelly Holman's her last name?
Yep.
Didn't strike me as a Holman.
Thank you for joining into the newly retitled The Riff with UCLA Shenanigans with Noah Stern, Michael Pyle. I don't remember your last name, Carl.
Clark Miner and Carl Hatch.
Carl Hatch and Clark Miner. Miner?
Minor.
Hardly know her.
And Noah Stern again. As always, we hope you had fun, but we also hope we had fun. And, all right, drive safely, everyone.